Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I am Nina. Today we're doing part B, being honest. Okay, I understand that this part is talking about how people will use AI, right? To maybe do their homework.
Okay.
That's interesting because I have heard of people actually using AI to do their projects and to write their papers for them in university.
Wow, well that would seem to be not being honest, not telling the truth if it's your homework, but the computer is doing it all for you.
Yeah, because now actually professors have found a way to actually find out if you used AI to write your homework.
Oh, so they can check if you're being honest, if you're telling the truth, or if you got the computer to do the work for you. Because of course, if it's your homework, you should be doing the work. And the other thing is that homework isn't just something you do to, take up time on the weekend or in the evening. Homework is the way you learn things. And if a computer is always doing everything for you, you're not going to actually learn anything. You won't actually know how to do anything except give the computer instructions. But what happens when the computer's not there? Suddenly, you will be kind of helpless.
Yeah.
So let's talk about being honest, talk about the good and the bad of AI and why it might be good in some parts of our lives. It's maybe not the answer to every problem that we face. So let's check it out. We have Abby and Jacob, and they're going to be talking about this very interesting topic. Jacob and Abby are talking about their reports.
Your report is perfect. You can't write a bad report, can you?
Sure, I can. I just check and double check everything. You do that too, don't you?
To be honest, I don't. I can be a little lazy at times.
All right, we are here with our dialogue all about being honest, telling the truth, doing the right thing, even when you can kind of cheat and cut corners and maybe save yourself some time. It's not the right thing to do, and it won't help you in the long run. Let's figure what this is all about with Jacob and Abby. It says Jacob and Abby are talking about their reports.
So a report is a written or spoken description of something. So usually you have to write reports at school, right? So for example, I wrote a report about the school trip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be a school report. If you work at a company, they might want information about something new. So it's your job to go out there and find the information and put it all in a simple form to give to your boss. And also, when we hear like a news story is kind of a report. This is what happened in Washington today. This is a report. It's giving you the most important information in a nice, clean package, easy to understand. So let's see what Jacob's doing. Well, it seems he is finished reading Abby's report. Like we're guessing this is her homework. So, like any smart person, she might say, hey, I did this thing for school. Can you look at it? Can you read it? Tell me what if I did something wrong, if I missed something, give me some advice. And so he says, your report is perfect. He might not make that gesture, but that's what we often do. If something is really good, it's perfect. We'll talk about the word perfect. Basically, it means you can't make it better. He says you can't write a bad report, can you?
Okay.
So there he is asking another one of those tag questions. You can't do this, can you? He thinks she can't. He's just waiting for her to say, yeah, you're right. I can't write. I'm amazing. All my reports are perfect. You're exactly right, Jacob. And yeah, if something is perfect, it is absolutely the best it can be. It is 100%. If you get 100% on your test, that was perfect. You can't make it any better. Sometimes we can measure it by using numbers. Sometimes you just look, oh, look at this cake. Oh, it's perfect. I couldn't think of anything that I could add to make it any better. It's already number one, top level. It's perfect. Just like Tina.
Yes, she is perfect.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 Report 名词报告。The teacher asked us to finish our science reports by Friday. 老师要求我们在周五前完成我们的科学报告。Perfect 形容词，极好的，完美的。Sarah did a perfect job decorating the room for the party. Sarah 在布置派对房间上做得非常完美。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, we're back. Jacob was just praising Abby and her perfect reports. She always writes amazingly perfect reports, doesn't she?
Yeah, she
does,
does.
yeah.
And she responds, "Sure I can. I just check and double check everything."
Ah, okay.
You do that too, don't you?
Okay, so she's saying, I can write a bad report if I don't check and double check everything. Yeah, of course.
My father always taught me to check, double check, and triple check. So when you double check, it means to look again and make sure something is right. And you can triple check, which means checking 3 times. Yeah, again and again and again.
Yeah.
So for example, please double check your answers, just in case you made a mistake.
Very true. Always read through that test before you give it to the teacher. I always double check my pockets to make sure I have my wallet and my keys and things before I go outside, before I leave my home, just to be safe. That's why we double check things. And back to Jacob, he says, to be honest, I don't. I don't always double check, and so my reports are not always perfect like yours. Why doesn't he double check? He's being honest. He's telling the truth. He's, saying, yeah, sometimes I'm silly and I make mistakes. Why? I can be a little lazy at times. All right, Jacob, you're human. We can all be a little bit lazy at times. It's just better not to be lazy when it's something important like a report or your homework or a test. But yes, being lazy is part of being a normal person because sometimes I don't want to. I'm tired. I want to stay here. This is boring. So if you don't feel motivated, if you're not like, yeah, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great, I'm going to use all my energy. If you're like, no, I want to go home. I want to lie on the sofa, go to bed, lie on my back and play phone games for hours and hours and not clean the house, not do my homework, not go to the gym, whatever you should do, but you're choosing not to do that, not because you're sick, not because you can't, because you just don't want to, but you should, then yeah, you're probably being lazy. It's okay, right? We can be lazy on the weekend. Chinese New Year's a great time to be lazy, but there's other times you actually have to do stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go and talk to Tina now. We won't be lazy. We're going to go spend some time with the wonderful Tina.
Okay.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 double check 动词，反复检查，再三确认。Maya double-checked her homework before handing it in. Maya 在交作业前再三检查了一遍。Lazy 形容词，懒惰的。My cat is lazy and sleeps all day. 我的猫很懒，一整天都在睡觉。文法的部分刚刚提到了 to be honest 老实说，常放在句首。Honest 指的是诚实的。我们来看看这个例句。To be honest, I don't like getting up early. 老实说，我不喜欢早起。At times, 有时、偶尔，这是一个副词片语，意思相近于 sometimes。我们来看看这个例句。At times, Anna forgets to do her homework. Anna 有时会忘记做功课。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, thank you, Tina. So we learned that Jacob doesn't always check, or double check his reports. It sounds like maybe he has a tendency of being lazy with things, but we will find out more after the break.
Since you're being honest, you used AI to write your report, didn't you?
Yes. How did you know?
There were many big words and the sentences didn't sound natural.
You noticed that? Then Miss Gates will also notice that, won't she?
Of course. She spots everything, doesn't she?
All right, we are back enjoying this conversation with Abby and Jacob, two friends and classmates. They were talking about their reports. Abby's reports are amazing. They're perfect. They're really, really good. Jacob, he can be a little bit lazy, and he doesn't always double check his reports. He doesn't read them again and again after to make sure there are no mistakes, so they're not often perfect like Abby's, but at least he's telling the truth about being a little lazy.
Okay, so Abby says, since you're being honest, you used AI to write your report, didn't you? Ooh, okay, so she wants him to be honest and she had her suspicions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, why did she think that?
Oh, well, he already said he was kind of lazy, right? So he doesn't always check his reports. Now, maybe he didn't even write his reports. If he used AI, that means the computer did most of the hard work. So again, at least he's being honest. He's like, no, I wrote it all. That's my own report. No, he's telling the truth. He says, yes, I did use AI to write my report. Here's the important question. How did you know?
Oh,
right?
yeah, how could you tell?
Yeah, if you can read my report and see that I didn't do it, how do you know that? Because other people, like maybe the teacher, might read it and, he could be in big trouble. Well, we'll find out what happens with this after we check in with Tina.
Okay.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的文法 ，since 加主词加动词，因为既然怎么样。连接词 since 在这里意思相近于 because， 可以放在句首或句中，后面要接完整的句子。我们来看看这个例句 ：Since it's raining, we should stay inside。既然下雨了，我们应该待在室内。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, thank you, Tina. So now Abby's going to explain why she thought that Jacob's report was done by AI?
Yeah, she didn't think, she knew it was done by AI. She might have thought, but he did tell the truth and said, yeah, it was AI. And then his question was, how did you know?
Okay, so Abby says, there were many big words and the sentences didn't sound natural. Oh, okay, so AI usually uses maybe more formal ways of saying things and bigger words, and maybe it just didn't sound like Jacob at all.
Yeah, it's exactly the same way. I mean, if a person writes something and you read many things they write, you notice a style.
Yeah.
AI's got a style, uses big fancy words that most people might not use, and also it writes in a way that doesn't quite sound human. So that's why. And so Jacob says, you notice that, you can see that, you could get that idea, that feeling, that information from my report. Then Ms. Gates will also notice that, won't she? Yeah, and here he might actually be kind of panicking and afraid, because if he's not allowed to use AI, this is called cheating.
Yes.
And if Ms. Gates is his teacher, which she probably is, and she notices or sees or can tell just like Abby can, he could be in trouble because again, the computer did the work, he didn't, which is not what he should do. It's cheating.
Exactly. So she'll notice that, won't she? And Abby responds, of course. She spots everything, doesn't she?
Ooh, that Ms. Gates, she is a sharp person. She can see or spot anything. She will catch you, Jacob.
Yeah, so in this case, spot means to see or notice something. So it's another way of saying, oh yeah, she will spot that. So for example, I spotted my friend in the crowd, and Miss Jacobs, what's her name?
Ms. Gates.
Ms. Gates will spot that he used AI.
Ooh dear, this could be uncomfortable for Jacob. All right, let's go to Tina and find out what she's got to tell us. She's doing it all on her own. No AI here. No way.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 spot 动词发现注意到 Julia spotted a cat hiding under the table. Julia 发现有只猫躲在桌子底下。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, we are back and Oh no, that's the end of our dialogue. We're never gonna find out what happens with Jacob.
Sounds like maybe he needs to ask for an extension so he can write it himself.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, we'll see if he can manage, but good luck, Jacob.
I imagine he's spending a lot of time typing on his computer and, more importantly, thinking for himself from now on. Because, of course, using AI to do your work is not really the way to go, especially at school with Ms. Gates as your teacher. Do not try this. Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care of yourselves and your brains, and we'll see you back here soon.
All right, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jacob and Abby are talking about their reports.
Your report is perfect. You can't write a bad report, can you?
Sure, I can. I just check and double check everything. You do that too, don't you?
To be honest, I don't. I can be a little lazy at times.
Since you're being honest, you used AI to write your report, didn't you?
Yes? How did you know?
There were many big words and the sentences didn't sound natural.
You noticed that? Then Miss Gates will also notice that, won't she?
Of course. She spots everything, doesn't she?
我们来复习一下这课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，report 名词报告 ，perfect 形容词极好的、完美的 ，double check 动词反复检查、再三确认 ，lazy 形容词懒惰的 ，spot 动词发现、注意到。接着我们来看文法的部分。To be honest 老实说 ，To be honest, I spent all my money on clothes. 老实说，我所有的钱都花在衣服上。At times 有时偶尔 At times, Bill lets his son have a piece of candy. Bill 有时会让他的儿子吃一颗糖果。Since 加主词加动词，因为既然怎么样。Josh went home after work since he had no other plans. Josh 下班后就回家了，因为他没有其他安排。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Welcome to Word Toss. Today, we're not just tossing balls. We're tossing words about occupations.
Here's how it works. One person throws the ball and says an occupation word, like teacher, and the other must catch it and immediately say a related word.
If you drop the ball or say the wrong thing, game over.
Think you can survive a minute of word tossing?
Let's go. All right, I'll go first. Ready?
Let's do this.
Teacher.
Homework. Doctor.
Hospital. Chef.
Restaurant. Pilot.
Airplane. Singer.
Microphone. Police officer.
Criminal. Farmer.
Crops. Basketball? Wait.
Wait, that's not an occupation.
I blanked out. I was thinking of player, but I said that sport instead.
Oh, so close. Athlete would have worked for you too, but looks like I win this round. Woohoo! Pew!
Oh no. I totally changed the subject there. My bad.
Well, at least you've already got a word ready for when we do play the sports edition.
True. So, how many occupation words did you catch?
If If it wasn't that many, don't worry. Practice makes perfect. Keep tossing words and you'll get better each time.
See you next time on Word Toss.